There is only one decision I regret, and it is abortion.
I had an abortion, and it was something I regret to this day.
In January, women from across America braved bitter cold as they gathered along the steps of the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C.
This gathering of women is one of more than 50 gatherings happening throughout this country. We're here today to say we will be silent no more because we have been hurt and women are still dying from legal abortion. The problem isn't legal or illegal. The problem is abortion hurts women. It is time for us to take our message to the public and let the world know that abortion is bad for women. They said to us that abortion was going to be safe. They said it was a simple procedure. But abortion has caused us more problems than it has solved. These women standing here all have a story to tell. I ask you to listen to our stories, and then I ask you to decide, while abortion might be a legal right, it is not right for women.
My story was one of a young girl that I was engaged, and I became pregnant, and I was thrilled. I was so excited. And the father of my baby not only did not want that baby, but he harassed me and pressed me and pushed me. I folded. I was responsible for that abortion. But it wasn't a choice I wanted, but I was responsible. So I beat myself up for years. I had self-loathings, low self-esteem. You feel in your heart and your soul there's something wrong.
The daddy didn't want it. He was making threats. That still wasn't reason enough. But Roe versus Wade had just passed, and my medical insurance paid for it, and that was real crazy now that I think back on it. But right after I did it, I began to wonder, did the baby feel it? Did it hurt? Was it a boy? Was it a girl?
I might be the only man here tonight giving testimony, but 30 years ago, I wasn't a real man. And my girlfriend actually went to the abortion mill all by herself.
I went to that clinic because everybody had told me that it was the only thing that I could do as a 16-year-old girl facing a crisis pregnancy. They wouldn't let me see my ultrasound.
My so-called boyfriend said he wasn't going to be the dad. The doctor said just removal of some tissue, no big deal. My mom said an abortion would be the best thing. The best thing for who? Not my baby, not me. She said it would end the pain I was in. Abortion did not end my pain, it began it.
As I lay there and listened to the vacuum cleaner suction out my baby, not only did the baby die, but a part of me died that day also. I started using drugs and alcohol just to try to cover up the pain because the same people who told me that it was okay, not a big deal, nobody wanted to listen to me afterwards and hear me cry. I fell into a really deep depression, stayed in my bed for weeks.
Nobody told me that I would walk into this self-hatred that would drive me toward death. Nobody told me that I would use drugs to numb the pain, alcohol, become a workaholic, live on coffee and cigarettes. Nobody told me that when I would get married that the marital embrace would become an abortion connector. Nobody told me that pregnant women would become an abortion connector, that the sound of a drill would throw me back. Nobody told me that I wouldn't even know what my emotional responses were connected to. Nobody would tell me that one day an ectopic pregnancy would break my denial, and that I would flash back and relive the event of the death of Sarah Elizabeth.
I hear these women telling these stories, and I can stand there and say, yeah, that happened to me. Yeah, that was me too. That was me too. And it's just this long list of things, you know. For me, it was turning to drugs and alcohol right after my abortion. For 5 months afterward, I have no recollection of what I had done, you know, as far as what my life was. 7 months, I attempted suicide. Within a year, I became pregnant again with the replacement baby.
For these women, every time they tell their story, they're reliving their abortion experience, they're reliving the death of their child. These ladies acknowledge the fact and mourn their children.
The baby is not the only one who dies.
that big parts of his mother die right along with him, physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and sometimes, yes, as I said, physically, many of us do commit suicide. And she keeps on dying until something breaks her out of her denial and her healing process begins.
I love this scar. I love it. I love the fact that I don't have 2 breasts anymore. That I was 31 years old when a doctor told me that I may not see my beautiful 3-year-old daughter grow up. I love this scar, and do you know why I love this scar? I love it because it gave me the courage that I needed to love my dead child. Because for years I lied and I would tell everybody I never had an abortion. Even my doctors, I would say I never had an abortion. And when I finally did tell one doctor, he said I didn't need to worry about it because there's no risk with breast cancer and abortion. And I hope, standing before all of you today, that you now see and that you now will know that there is definitely a link between abortion and breast cancer. The day after I learned that I had breast cancer, I learned that I was pregnant. And there were many people who thought that my child should die because I had a little girl that I needed to raise. And having gone through what I had gone through, there was no way that I was going to kill my child. So I went through chemotherapy with my baby, and I am proud to say that he is 16 months old today, and he is beautiful, he is healthy, and he is strong. So for all those people who say we need abortion for women's health, I hope I am evidence that that is not true.
Ironically, groups such as NOW and NARAL that claim to be pro-choice do not support efforts to offer total choice, including alternative choices to abortion. Their opposition to the Silent No More awareness event drew shouts of protest. While their campaign is clearly based on legal and political issues, the goal of Silent No More awareness is to offer healing of the pain from abortion and to expose the damage abortion does to women. Women deserve better than just legalize abortion to deal with an unplanned pregnancy.
We are the voice of this generation. Time has come to heal our nation. Break the silence. Time to turn. Predator reason. Mercy yearns. Because we are the voice of this generation. And time has come to heal our nation. Amen.
We are the voice of this generation. Time has come to heal this nation. Break the silence. Time to turn rhetoric into reason. We are silent no more.